Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and technically doing a Nephthys deck profile. So I'm really excited for you guys because this deck is a really awesome ritual deck that can actually summon out some crazy powerful ritual monsters like your Conductor of Nephthys, which can actually summon out ritual monsters directly from your deck, which is a crazy awesome effect. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like in your name scripture every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Conductor of Nephthys. This card is a crazy powerful 3-up that has the ability to ritual summon this card with Rebirth of Nephthys. And if this card is ritual summon, you can special summon a ritual Nephthys monster from your hand or deck, except another copy of this card, and it treats it as a ritual summon. That is a really powerful effect to just instantly get out your copy of your Cerulean Phoenix directly from your deck to your side of the field. It also has the ability that if this card is tributed or destroyed by a Nephthys effect, you can activate this effect that during the next standby phase, destroy up to 3 Nephthys cards except ritual monsters, 1 each from your hand, deck, or field, and you can only use the effect this card once per turn. That is a crazy awesome effect because the majority of your Nephthys monsters float when they're destroyed into themselves, which is really cool. I then play 3 copies of Devotee of Nephthys. Devotee is a great 3-of as well in the deck that has the ability that you can ritual summon this card with Rebirth of Nephthys, and you can only use each of the following effects this card once per turn. That if this card is ritual summon, you can activate the effect to special summon a Nephthys monster from your deck. Also, during the end phase of this turn, destroy this card. And if this card is in the graveyard, you can destroy a Nephthys card in your hand, and if you do, special summon this card, which is a really good effect just to be able to get this card back on the field. I then play 2 copies of Cerulean Phoenix. Cerulean Phoenix is really easy to summon with your copy of Conductor, which is how you're always going to be summoning this card. And it's a really powerful card that has the ability that during your main phase, you can destroy Nephthys cards in your hand or face up on the field, and then destroy cards equal to the number of monsters that your opponent controls that you destroyed, which is a really powerful effect to be able to just pop cards on the field. And then during your next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card back from the grave as a 3000 attack point monster. This card is really easy to summon and just a really good boss monster. I then play a single copy of the Sacred Phoenix. Sacred Phoenix destroys back row when it's summoned back to the field, which is a really good effect. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon this card during your next standby phase, and then Harpy's Feather Duster, or excuse me, Heavy Storm all the back row that's on the field, which is a really awesome effect. I then play 3 copies of Disciple. Disciple is a great 3-of in the deck as well, because it has the ability that during your main phase, you can destroy 1 card in your hand, and if you do, you get to add a Nephthys monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. And then during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, then you can add a Nephthys spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That is a really good effect just to be able to pop a card in your hand, because I have a really awesome tech card actually to be able to pop in the hand that is just really good in the deck. I then play 2 copies of Matriarch. Matriarch is a good 2-of as well in the deck that lets you target a level 4 lower Nephthys monster in the graveyard and then destroy a card in your hand, and if you do, you get to special summon the targeted monster in defense position but negate its effects, which just helps you link climb into other cards. I then play a single copy of Chronicler. Chronicler is a good 1-of in the deck as the ability you can target a Nephthys card in the graveyard, except another copy of this card, destroy a card in your hand, and if you do, add that target to your hand, which can help you get back all sorts of really powerful cards like your copy of Disciple or even your copy of Matriarch to go in for some really good plays. Now for my personal tech of this particular deck, I am playing a crazy powerful card that I'm actually going to play Guess That Card. So I'm going to lay these 3 cards down face down right here, and you guys are going to guess what this card is. And I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, and make sure you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell in there so you can be a part of the notification squad. So definitely comment down below what you think this card is down in the comments down below, and we're going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. And the card is actually going to be 3 copies of the same card, which is 3 copies of the Wicked Eraser. Now you might be looking at this card and going, wait, why are you playing that in this deck? Well, it actually has a really good effect that basically during your main phase, you can destroy cards on the field, or if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you destroy all cards on the field. That is a really powerful effect, especially if you're going second and you just normal summon out your copy of Disciple, pop this card in your hand, destroy everything on the field, and then go in for all of your plays. That is really good to help you OTK the opponent, and it completely board wipes all the monsters, all the spells, all the traps. Everything on the field must go when this card gets destroyed. And there are plenty of cards in this deck, like all of your main deck Nephthys monsters, that have the ability to pop a card in your hand to get their effect to go off, so you can pop this card in your hand and destroy everything on the field. I then play a single copy of Chalice Slime. Chalice Slime is a great one of the deck, because you can reveal this card in your hand, discard a card, and then special summon an incantation monster from your deck to your side of the field. Now then I play 2 copies of Talismandra. Talismandra is a really good card in the deck, because it basically has the ability to reveal a ritual monster in your hand, special summon both this card and another incantation monster from your deck, and if this card is special summoned from the deck, you get to add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. I then play 2 copies of Kandal. Kandal has the exact same effect as your copy of Talismandra, except you reveal a ritual spell in your hand to be able to special summon this card. Then you get special summon an additional incantation from your deck, and if this card is special summoned from the deck, you get to add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand. I then play a single copy of Bookstone. Bookstone has the ability that you reveal a ritual spell in the hand, just like your copy of Kandal, and then you special summon this card from your hand with another incantation from the deck, and this card lets you grab a ritual spell back from your grave to your hand. And then I play 3 copies of Pencil Plume. Pencil Plume is really good in the deck, because it has the ability to reveal a ritual monster in your hand, and then special summon both this card and an incantation from the deck, and then if this card is special summoned from the deck, you get to add a ritual monster from your graveyard to your hand, but you usually are using this card in your hand to special summon out either your copy of your Talismandra or your copy of Kandal directly from the deck to get their effects to go off. I then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom just to make sure we're stopping the opponent from touching the deck. So it's a definite 3 in the deck just to be able to make sure that we can stop the opponent. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Incantation Inception, which is just a really good ritual spell in the deck that you have to use incantations to ritual summon any ritual monster, but this card comes in extremely handy in this deck. I then play 3 copies of Rebirth. Rebirth is a great ritual spell for your Nephthys monsters, because it has the ability to, this card can be used to ritual summon any Nephthys ritual monster, and you must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster that you were attempting to ritual summon. Then, if you attributed a Devotee or a Cerulean Phoenix, you can destroy 1 card on the field. Now that's really helpful in this deck, because with your copies of your pre-preparation of rites, you can actually search out your copy of Devotee from your deck with this card, which is very helpful. I then play 3 copies of Preparation of Rites to search out the copy of Conductor, while also getting back your copy of Rebirth back from your graveyard to your hand, which is super helpful in this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Nephthys the Sacred Flame. This card is super easy to summon in the deck, and the only way your opponent's ever going to out this card is with a Kaiju, or if they can't even attack over it. It's going to actually have to take a Kaiju if you put 3 ritual monsters into this card to get over this card, which has the ability that this card takes 2+ monsters, including at least 1 ritual monster, with the ability that while this card is in the extra monster zone, monsters your opponent control cannot target Nephthys monsters in the main monster zones for attacks. And this card gains the effects of each effect based on the number of ritual monsters that you put into this card to link summon it. If you use 1 ritual monster to summon this card, it can't be destroyed by battle. If you put 2 ritual monsters in it, it cannot be destroyed by card effect. Also, it gains 1200 attack. And if you put 3 ritual monsters into it, neither player can target this card with card effects. Also, it gains an additional 1200 attack, going to 4800, not being able to destroy by battle, not being able to destroy by card effects, and neither player can target it either, which means your opponent's probably going to have to Kaiju it to get rid of it. I then play 2 copies of the Sacred Preserver. Preserver is a great 2 of in the deck, because it has a really good has a really good effect in this deck. It has the ability that you can only use each of the following effects this card once per turn, that during your main phase, if this card is link summoned, you can activate 1 of these effects. You get to add a level 8 Wing Beast type monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand, or destroy 1 Nephthys monster this card points to, and then special summon a Nephthys monster with a different name from your graveyard but negate its effects. This card is really good in the deck to be able to summon to your side of the field and get all those searches in the deck. This card is just so good. I then play a single copy of Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, because it's really easy to summon this deck with your copy of IP Masquerena to help you step into some really powerful monsters. I play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is a really good card to be able to make, just to give you additional negates in the deck. I play a single copy of Access Code to be able to pop cards on the field. This card is just really good. You can change it out for Boral Sword if you want to, but it is an option for you guys. One copy of Unicorn to spin stuff, your copy of Phoenix to pop spells and traps, Cerberus to pop monsters, and then IP Masquerena to be able to go into your copy of your Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn to spin stuff. Cross Sheep, because Cross Sheep is super easy to make in the deck and has a super easy effect to be able to, when you ritual summon, you get to draw 2 and then discard 2, which is really helpful just to help you dig through the deck. So I make this card all the time in this particular build. One copy of number 45, Crucible Logo, because it is a walking negate, which is really helpful and also helps you step into your copy of Zeus. One copy of Sky Cavalry, because it basically is just a really good, basically rank 2 in the deck that's easy to make. They can't be destroyed by battle while it has XZ materials, and so this card is just really good to make. One copy of Downerd so we can make Zeus, and then finally a single copy of Zeus just in case we need to board wipe outside of our spicy tech card, the Wicked Eraser. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a super fun deck to be able to play with. If you guys have never played with Nephthys before, you definitely should give it a try, because it's actually a very budget deck, and it's just really a fun deck overall to be able to play, especially with the incantations. It makes it super budget to be able to play, and it's a really good deck. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.